Hello teachers, in this video here I want to show us what setting up requirements and requisites looks like within our Canvas course. So in this case I'm going to talk about what requirements look like within a single module within Canvas. So here I have a module that's built. It's a fairly lengthy module with lots of different student tasks for them to complete. But what I want to make sure that I do here is I would love to be able to set up some requirements for my kids that they have to complete things in a specific order within this module. So in order to do that on a module, you're going to click on the three dots on the gray bar on the right that actually is in the same line of the name of the module. So I click the three dots and I'm going to click to edit my module. Then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click this little blue plus sign that says add requirement. So requirements are those things that require the kids to do things in a specific order or require students to do things in order to progress through the module. So here I'm going to just leave this where it says students must complete all these requirements, so they actually have to do all these things. And then if I also want them to move through the module in a sequential order, I'm going to check this box. And then what I can start doing is start to work through my module. And I'm going to get a view of what's my first task. So this is my first thing, which is a content page. And then here I'm going to tell them I want them to either view the item, mark it as done, contribute to the page would be like actually having them edit the page. So I don't really want to do that. Here I want them to just be able to mark it as done. And on an iPad, there's a little three dots in the upper right hand corner they tap on and literally click mark as done. On a MacBook for high school kids, it actually says mark is done and they click that button to move on. So I put the first requirement, then I move on to the second item. So I'm going to add another requirement and I'm going to pick the page customizing your notifications. I want them to mark that as done. Then I'm going to go over here and say Canvas app updating. And I'm going to add another requirement and say Canvas app updating. And I'm going to say mark as done there. And so I'm going to continue to work down through my entire module until I get every single task accounted for within this module. So you can see I started to do a bunch of these here. When I get down to tasks like quizzes, assignments, discussions, what you're going to notice is that it's a little different in the options compared to the content page. You saw content page was view item, mark is done. Those are really the two that we want to either look at there. For assignments, discussions, quizzes, within your PowerSchool courses, when you click on the drop down, you're going to see 4 items. Now instead, you can say, hey, I want you to view the item. I want you to mark it as done. I want you to submit the assignment or score at least a specific score on the assignment in order to move through. So in this case for the assignment, maybe I just want you to submit the assignment. So I'm going to click that one right there. If it's a quiz, maybe you want to have them score at least a specific number on a quiz in order for them to move to the next task in the module. If it's a discussion, maybe I want you to submit the assignment for the discussion. Or if it's a graded discussion, score at least a specific score there too. And then once I've gone through and done every single requirement within that module, I'm going to go ahead and click Update the module. What you've noticed is it says you've changed the progression for requirements for an active course. There may be students who've already progressed through this. So if you're changing this after the fact, you're going to get this message right here. It's fine to just go ahead and click Relock the modules, and it's going to relock those modules there. If you're doing this beforehand, before any students actually get to touch anything within the module, then it's going to be completely fine. It'll just go ahead and say that. And then you'll have a little notification now in the name of your module that says complete all items. So you'll actually have that as kind of a little marker for you to say, oh yeah, our kids are completing all the items in here. Now again, setting up requirements like this is going to force students, depending on this little feature right here, that they must move through requirements in sequential order. So what that is actually going to do is force kids to do things in order, and it's going to lock everything in the module until they complete those items. But that right there, you can really see how easy it was to set up requirements for your modules. So the other thing that you can also do is set up what's called a prerequisite. So maybe I have this specific module already published, and then I have a second module published down below. And what I don't want students is to do this module first. I want them to go through this one first. In that case, for my second module, I can click this and I can say edit. And now I can now say add a prerequisite. So what this means is that I have to tell them you have to complete the orientation module, the first one up here, before this module even becomes live and available. So if I just do that, I can set up what's called a prerequisite, essentially telling students that, hey, you can't even open this module, you can't access this other module until you complete the first module. And then again, if I wanted to set requirements for my individual tasks inside of this second module, I can do that there. And just click Update Module. And then now you can see my first module has all my requirements to complete my items. My second module has a prerequisite saying you must complete this other module first before this one actually opens up and unlocks for kids to work on. So that's prerequisites and requirements and how you set those within your Canvas courses for students.